Your family tree probably has a lot of mistakes that you weren't aware of. And on MyHeritage, the consistency checker will help you find those problems. But today we're going to talk about the type of problems hiding in your family tree. Be sure to check the link in the description box or the pop-up that will take you to the previous video on how to actually use the consistency checker. I was so surprised to see some of the mistakes from the family tree that I imported from another platform. Let's take a look. Now, some of them might be accurate and you just need to go make a change, or you can mark it as not a problem. So in this case, the child is older than the parent. Myra Marr was born in 1864 and her father is John Marr. So one of two problems are happening. Either Myra's birth date is incorrect, or John's birth date is incorrect, or she's connected as a child of someone who could actually be her son or a cousin, or somehow on that other platform, somebody messed up and merged two Johns at the same location but different birth dates together and made Myra's father John. Whatever the case is, I really like that MyHeritage is like, this is a problem, so we can go in and solve it. Another one was parent too young when having a child. This is Clement Townsend and the father John H. Townsend. Now, it is possible that there are some guardianship or there are some adoption but not legal paper trail adoptions that take place. And from what I understand with Clement and John is that Clement was actually like a cousin of John, and when Clement's parents passed away, he went to live with John, and through records, John was the surrogate father, the stand-in father. And so that is sometimes the case when the ages are off. But if you do see that, okay, we have a young man, typically men didn't start having children until they were in their 20s, and women could have them as early as 14, but typically about 16 is the age, according to the information I found in the book Applied Genealogist by Eugene Aubrey Stanton. And so that's kind of what MyHeritage is using as a guideline that, yeah, this guy's a little bit too young to be the father of Clement. It is possible, so make sure you check it out. If you see a parent of a child and the parent is about 4, then raise your eyebrows and go see what's going on. Now, the next option is parent too old when having a child. Biologically, typically women didn't have children after they're 40 or 50. If they hadn't even started having children in the beginning, and typically if they're having lots of children, 40s, mid-40s, and definitely 50s, she's too old biologically to have children. So MyHeritage does a check for you. They also do a check for gentlemen. Now, gentlemen can actually have children late in life. So look at this and decide, is this a problem or not? And notice there is an option to say ignore this issue if the dates are fine. So if George at age 75 had another marriage and created the child Cornelia, and that is true, then you go ahead and click on the option that says ignore this prompt. Fact occurring after death. This one, the date of residence is 1871 and his death date is 1846. Now, sometimes I'll put in a fact that happened after someone's death, and that could be a probate record. It could be the sale of their property, and I just put it into the family tree so that I know when his property got sold. If that's that case, then I can go ahead and ignore that information because there's that option right there. But this is quite a large gap. Do I have the right Jacob with that residence? We'll have to go and find out. Fact occurring before birth. The date of residence for Frederick is 1877, but his birth date happened in 1878. We need to go and check that out. Tell me some of the reasons why you think sometimes there are facts that happen before a child's birth on their timeline that could actually be accurate and apply to them. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. I really like this option. Siblings are close in age. Eliza R. Townley was born November 1824, and Asa, her brother, was born in February 1825. They're 95 days apart, which is about 3 months. Now we have a problem. What is the problem? Chances are the years are off, or the child belongs to a different mother, or a lot. So I haven't really seen this prompt in other platforms. So MyHeritage, good job. This is one of my favorites because Lemuel, Sparks, and Matilda are born 60 days apart. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I do like that there's this calculator for how far apart are siblings when they're born. Really, really like that one. Large spouse age difference, 44 years apart, not unheard of. Not necessarily the most common activity, so you can click on ignore, but it is something you want to check out because that could demonstrate that maybe you've got the wrong spouse connected to each other. This one is unique. Multiple marriages of the same couple. Whenever you add new records to MyHeritage, and sometimes it doesn't go to the same fact of marriage. So sometimes you get duplicate entries as you're putting sources onto your MyHeritage family tree. And sometimes when you import a tree from another platform, what you didn't realize is that there were multiple marriage facts hiding in that tree. So what MyHeritage is telling you is either you have duplicate entries for marriage and you need to go clean that up, or it is possible, it's not unheard of, it is possible that a couple married and they divorced and they remarried again. Or you might have multiple marriages because they had a civil marriage and then the church marriage and then other types of marriages after that. So be sure to check it out. I really like that that's there, and I did go and clean up. There's only one marriage entry of John Sparks and Elizabeth Jane, and it turned out to be just a duplicate of the marriage event. This one down here at the bottom, married name entered as maiden name. Part of it is in importing, and certain platforms don't connect with MyHeritage as well as we would like, and it's just a quick fix and you're good. There are times when you have a Smith marry a Smith. I did have that in my family tree. And then in other situations, what happened is people put in the married name in the surname field, and it really should be in the married name field rather than the maiden name field. And on MyHeritage, you actually have both fields. And so sometimes those inconsistencies aren't necessarily wrong. You just have the fact in a different place because MyHeritage is a slightly different platform than other trees and what they track. Just like there's multiple marriage facts, which tend to just be duplicates, there are multiple birth facts. And again, it's part of migrating and keeping your tree taking place. Sometimes people are debating about 2 dates. And so that is still a research question. You have the multiple death facts. Siblings with the same first name. Now this is a neat check. So again, good job MyHeritage. I really like what you're asking us to really evaluate what's in our family tree. Now in this case, it is possible for a family to have children with the same name. Often an older sibling passed away and this family recycled the name. Or if you're George Foreman, you name all of your kids George. Whatever the case is, this is a nice check to go and say, should that be there? Now, this is one I hadn't thought of. MyHeritage will go and compare the surname spelling in your family tree to see if you have inconsistencies. Now, with the last name Claybaugh, it's spelled multiple different ways depending on who you're talking to and who you're researching. So there's Clabaugh, there's the Y inserted after the A. There's also variations at the end. The ba is spelled different ways. And it's nice to be able to look at that and say, do I really have the right spelling for each person? Because in the tree, there are more instances of it being spelled one way versus the other. Same with Billman. Sometimes there's an extra N, sometimes there's not. And then with David Geisler, He spelled SS where everybody else is spelled SZ. Which one is accurate? It's really kind of a neat tool that I have only found on MyHeritage, and I really like that it's there, so I can go and say it's really confirmed that I have the right spelling for that individual, because relatives will spell their names differently. I had a family that I was researching, and half the children called themselves Brown with no E, and the other half, they were Brown with an E, but they were the same family, but there was a family feud, and the way to know which side of the feud you were on, you added an E to the end of the word Brown. Now, this one is really great. This is like cleaning up a place name. I didn't realize that I had misspelled my grandmother's birthplace. So she was born in Ann Arbor, Washtenaw, Michigan. I hope I said that right. And there is a different variation in her father, Robert Victor Zemstein, where the T is an L. And computer technology, the L and the T can look very much the same, maybe an L and an I. And I like that MyHeritage goes and say, I think you have a problem in a location and you can go and fix it. It also pointed out that I didn't spell, or someone didn't spell Niagara correctly, so you can go in and clean things up. So that's just a sampling of the inconsistencies that MyHeritage found in a tree that I was processing. Did I miss anything that are showing up on your MyHeritage checker? Let me know in the comments below. If you want more tips and tricks on how to use MyHeritage, be sure to check the playlist up above. And if you are ready for the latest video from Family History Fanatics, be sure to check the one right here. Hey guys, I don't really have a blooper here for you, but I just want to remind you, check out our website, familyhistoryfanatics.com, for more tips and tricks to help you climb your tree and write your family stories.